guys, what's up? ScotchDuck here once again. Okay, this video is like me trying to basically find a topic to actually talk about, you know, because I've just noticed on this channel that outside of like the occasional review or like Wednesday Day Collection update, I really don't do enough on here, so I don't know. I want to try and push myself. I want to try and find just some stupid, useless, random topic that you feel like ranting about, Donald, and just rant about it. So here we are. We're going to talk about Resident Evil for a bit. Right, so I think Resident Evil's been on my mind because we're kind of like at the, I think we're at the point where Resident Evil 7 is now old, like at least old and internet old, you know, it's like you talk about Resident Evil, it's like, oh, this game came out ages ago, sort of thing. And it's really had enough time to sink in, and I'm very happy that, like, majority's opinion was that it's really good, because it is really good, you know. We still got some free DLC and of course some paid DLC coming and stuff. I don't know how much I'm going to really care about that, but you know, it's coming and that's nice because the game itself is really nice, so joy, you know. But what I really want to talk about is I want to talk about like this right here. Where is it? Okay, Resident Evil Code Veronica. Okay, I want to talk about this because this is my favourite Resident Evil game. That's no secret. I've said this in numerous videos over the years. You know, this is the only Resident Evil game that I've did a Let's Play of back in the day. And it could very well be that it's on the Dreamcast, and you all know how much I love that console, and it's mega biased to say so. But I think this is the best Resident Evil there is, okay? Like, genuinely, you know? And it's got such a, I don't know, it's got such a love-hate vibe to it, you know, around the Resident Evil fan base. Like, there's so many times where I've seen, like, I've asked people or I've seen random YouTubers just say, Resident Evil, oh yeah, one of the best in the series, amazing game, or they'll say, or they'll say, oh my god, that game was fucking awful, awful game. And yeah, it's such a weird thing. I mean, I always thought general consensus was that everybody loved it. I mean, everybody loved Resident Evil, and it was like coming up with it in terms of its release for the Sega Dreamcast. But it's like I don't get it. I don't get it. Why do people, to the people? I guess this is more aimed at the people that don't like the game than like the game, because I like the game a lot, you know. So you guys who like the games, I've obviously no problem with you. But to those of you who don't like the game, why? Why is it? What is it about this one that breaks it apart from the rest, you know? I've actually got all my Resi games right here. I was actually very surprised at what I actually physically own of this series. You know, I don't own all the games, even though I have at certain points, you know. Not at the moment, and I've just realised that I've left Resi 4 out. How the fuck did I leave Resi 4 out? Okay, I own Resi 4 on the Wii, okay? I had it on the GameCube before, but I now have it on the Wii only, which is the best version of that game as far as I'm concerned, not counting like all the hundreds and hundreds of like re-releases that we've had over the years for that game. Not undeservedly. No. Resi 4 is good. Resi 4 is really good, you know. You won't hear me saying that. Not as good as Code Veronica, but that's just me. That's just me, you know. But apart from Resi 4 on the Wii, so I can't believe I forgot about it, I own this Resident Evil remake for the GameCube, one of the finest survival horror games you will play. I do own Resident Evil Deadly Silence, which was basically the DS remake of Resident Evil 1, and that game has become quite a, what's the word? I mean, it's kind of like, I don't want to say so bad it's good, because that's like, I don't know, I don't think it fits the bill quite like that, but at the same time, the most memorable things about that game are because of how much they are to laugh at. Like, the voice acting is obviously the most famous example there, and you know, the fact that it's quite short, it doesn't look very good, which is all the more surprising that they took all that stuff that we laughed about it out, added a whole bunch of good shit, and was actually able to make a proper masterpiece about it, right? That's a real achievement as far as I'm concerned, you know, the fact that they could remake something that you wouldn't think had a lot to it, but did, and this really uncovered all that, you know, so mega respects to this game as far as I'm concerned, really, really is. Where the fuck do I put this? Let's put it here. Okay. Got Resi 2, arguably the most famous in the series. Is that remake still coming out? I hope so. That'd be good. I hope it's like over the shoulder like Resi 4 was, you know. Mind you, they released, there was only like a fan game of that, and I don't know, I have a feeling Capcom would look at that and think, we have to one up this. But I don't know. But yeah, brilliant games again as far as I'm concerned. And what the fuck is this? Oh god, what is that? It's fucking powdery shit over my copy of Resident Evil 2. My flatmate used to play this constantly. Were you at this? Were you at this, Mark? Oh god. Right, I don't know what that is, but brilliant game anyway. Maybe a liquor was hanging over it or something, I don't know. Resident Evil 3, I did play that on the Dreamcast. I actually picked up the Dreamcast version not long after picking up Code Veronica, because that was kind of like a sort of Resi high for me at the time. And I'm a bit so-so on Resi 3 myself. And I'm sure many of you know the backstory about how Resident Evil Code Veronica was actually supposed to be Resident Evil 3, but because Sony was like, no, you have to have a numbered Resi game on our console, they cut the 3 off of Code Veronica and gave it to Resi 3. Resi 3's got some good shit, you know, the Nemesis is a genuinely, like, iconic and wonderful character. There's some things in that game, though, that, I don't know, it's more, I guess it's more action-y. Actually, I don't know about that, but you know, things like making your own ammo and the multiple choices that you could make throughout the game. I don't know. I didn't think it held together as well as I guess they thought it would. So yeah, a bit iffy on Resi 3, but at the end of the day, I do still like it. I talked about Resi 4 already. You know, wonderful game, wonderful game. I know it's a wonderful game. Might like Code Veronica more, but it's a wonderful game. And I also have this, and I'm surprised I still have this, Resi 5, because I got to a point where I kind of like traded in most of my 360 multiplats in favour of PS3, because I kind of just decided, fuck 360, rah. So, yeah, I've still got this, and it's so funny, in retrospect of Resident Evil 6, how much we all thought this was the worst fucking thing ever. Then Resi 6 came out, and we were like, sorry. And you want to know what the worst thing about Resi 6 is? The fact that I could sit here and proclaim so proudly and so confidently that that game is fucking shit, and I've never even played it. You know, it's like, it's odd that I would think so confidently about something like that, as far as I'm concerned, you know. I think that speaks magnitudes for how much people really do dislike that game, even though it's literally Capcom's best-selling game and it was a failure. I guess that's just wood on the fire at this point, isn't it? But yeah, this is a decent co-op game. I don't really have anything bad to say about it now. I guess Resi 6 put it into perspective for me, so Resi 6 did some good. But yeah, good game still. And I already talked about Resi 7, yes, okay. But yeah, like, why does Code Veronica not get that much love? And I feel like I should talk about these games as well, because these games don't have numbers at the end of them, at least sort of. And they are really good as far as I'm concerned, and I guess I think these get talked a bit more than Code Veronica, really, at least in terms of how much people like them. Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil Revelations. Not played Revelations 2 yet. But yeah, really good fucking games, you know. Maybe not as famous as some of the more the mainline Resi games, you know. But generally, whenever I come across someone who's played them, you know, they tend to like it. Sure, you get some disbelief about how, oh fuck, Rebecca got her own game, holy shit. Or, you know, I also know that there's a bit of a debate about this, about how, did it really go back to survival horror roots, or was it just an action game at the end of the day, kind of like what 5 and sort of 6 were, you know? But no, as far as I'm concerned, these are genuinely good, wonderful Resident Evil games that deserve to be in the series. And yeah, like I said, even though I hear little things here and there about both of them, I don't get the same sort of like complete black and white, oh my god, awesome, oh my god, shite that I get with Code Veronica, you know? And yeah, best 1999 I ever spent, by the way. It's fucking, what do you guys say to Code Veronica, okay? Like, why don't you like it? And even if you do like it, tell me why, okay? Because because for the rest of this video, I'm just gonna gush about Code Veronica. I'll maybe bring up a couple of bad points, so you might as well end the video now and leave your comment, because all I'm gonna do is gush now about why I love this game so much, okay? You know that I had like my stepmom, okay, whom, you know, my dad's wife and shit, okay, her mother, my step-gran, I guess, gave me for my birthday a demo disc for Resident Evil Code Veronica for the Dreamcast. I guess she thought it was a full game. She didn't realize she was just giving me a demo, and I was always like, thank you, and but I definitely had like a proper fear of horror games back then, I had this friend who had a PS1, and he would play like Silent Hill and Resi 2, and he was as shit fear of playing those games as I was. And I used to love watching him play the games, but he didn't like playing them, and I didn't like playing them, so we didn't actually spend a lot of time playing them, Even though I was always fascinated by it, just the thought of having the controller in my hands while all the shit in those games was going on was terrifying to me, I couldn't hack it. So I actually do remember getting the demo disc for Resident Evil Code Veronica and being like, right, I'm going to conquer my fear, I'm going to play this demo and I'm going to beat it. And yeah, playing it, I was genuinely terrified. Not that Code Veronica is even the scariest Resi game. I mean, Resi games in general aren't really mega terrifying, they're all about building tension and all that shit. You could make a whole discussion about how it goes, but ultimately they are survival horror games, that's the important thing. And Resident Evil Code Veronica was a survival horror game for sure, and I got the same fears playing it as I did all the other ones. And yeah, it really was, for me at least, a sort of like step forward in me overcoming my sort of fear, And to this day, I actually pride myself quite a lot on how much I don't get scared of games. Like I could play like Amnesia: The Dark Descent. That didn't scare me. Okay, I was like playing that game. Okay, I didn't actually beat it because I got literally a game-breaking bug. Indie games for you, I guess. Shit happens. Yeah, it didn't scare me. It really didn't. I did get more scares out of Penumbra. The guys who made Penumbra went on to make Amnesia. I thought Penumbra was that one did get me. I'm not gonna lie, but for the most part, like PT, Project Zero, the Silent Hills, I can play them and not bat an eye for the most part. It doesn't really get to me, and maybe that's just because I have so many like shit your pants scared friends, or like maybe they like to play it up whenever we play games together. But for the most part, yeah, I'm usually good with horror games. So all the good things aside, that I still want to gush about. That's a big reason why Code Veronica was special to me. It was like it broke my fear of survival horror games, and I'm gonna be forever grateful for that. But apart from that, it's just a really fucking good Resident Evil game, right? It's got everything you know from the formula of Resi, just the right amount of backtracking, just the right amount of ammo conservations to make a good little mesh of like stress and fun. It's so weird to think that it's really hard to get this right, because if you give the player too much ammo, make it too easy, they're bored. If you give them too little ammo or whatever, they're too stressed out. So I really applaud Resi for always making that balance just right. Even though at the end of Code Veronica I've got so much ammo, which is pretty much the case with most Resident Evils. Even happened with Resi 7, But yeah, Claire, she is my favourite Resident Evil character, does not get used enough. I'm surprised I've not even played Revelations 2, because that's basically her game, isn't it? I really should give that a try sometimes. But yeah, Steve is shit. Everybody hates Steve, I agree. Alexia and Alfred Ashford are legitimately creepy, awesome villains as far as I'm concerned. Wesker's in it, Wesker, for sure. The monster designs are good, like Basher, the yellow one with the one arm, that's freaky shit. Every time one of those is up, I'm like, no, I can't be arsed with this. Obviously, you get to play as Chris as well. Some really nice boss fights. It's just a really good Resi game. There's really, I guess that's also the other thing. There's nothing really standing out from other Resi games here, other than just like really well done execution. And I always just to gush some more. You play as Claire for like 2/3 of the game, then for like the final third. It is Claire's game for sure. Chris has a little bit of a spotlight at the end, but it's Claire's game. And you have to backtrack through the areas with Chris. By the way, that was the worst self-destruct in the world. That island's completely fine, isn't it? But yeah, it's awesome like that, and it's always really scary. Tell me why you hate Code Veronica. I would love to know. That's enough gushing, I think. Okay. See you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.